I would say just be a little bit more upbeat.
Mm-hmm. Let's get to Skylar and Nathan, 2 ex-fentanyl addicts. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? They're going to be doing a low-key Halloween, which includes no drinking and no drugs because so many people in Zanesville have died from fentanyl. Now, Nathan's brother is coming, Barry, believe it or not. He's a former drug addict and drug dealer himself.
Hey, I thought they said when they were going to go to that pumpkin patch trail that they weren't going to invite any friends that trafficked fentanyl.
Yeah, well,
it's hard to find.
Can't swing a cat in Zanesville. I mean, come on.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.
Hi. It's Bad TV in your ears. I'm Dylan, saddled up next to one convict, Pat Hickey.
Hey, permission to, I guess, come in I'm just out of jail.
Permission to I'm just out of jail?
I don't know. You got to watch the video. Oh, that's a great selling point for the video, dude.
Yep.
I'm in my prison outfit.
Yeah, and I am not. And do you resent me for that?
No.
Because our former co-hosts used to always bring in these ornate costumes, and I was never a big fan of hopping into them.
Me neither after a while.
I felt it to be a tiresome bit.
Yeah.
But this is cool. I think this is great.
I'll tell you what. Next week, we're doing the finale tonight.
Yeah.
Next week's Life After Lockup.
Yeah, and
maybe I'll get you in one of those prison jumpsuits.
And let's talk about Life After Lockup really quickly, which we will do. But should my loathing for society en masse become too overbearing for me, we're going to have a conversation about not doing it because when I began, and I guess I'll just jump into thoughts and pots really quickly, and handcuffs. When I began this journey with you and our audience breaking down Women's Entertainment's Love After Lockup, Season 7, Episode 32, or whatever it was, I had a certain amount of optimism. It was fun. We were coming on sweatpants in correctional facilities, getting married by 7-Elevens, and then people started to get hit in the face, broken jaws, 8 children, and newly homeless. It started to get sadder and sadder, and my faith in humanity was already very, very low. It's damn near all-time low now. Mm-hmm. The people in this show make me grateful for where I'm at in life, and also extremely hate-filled towards just stupidity. And I got to do some meditative practices of detachment when I'm watching the show because I see somebody like Cam, I see somebody like Michael and Justine.
You sound like you're in a dark place, man.
I'm in a dark place. This show puts me in a dark place because can we agree? I mean, these people are, on the whole, just massive pieces of shit.
Well, let me give you a metaphor.
There's maybe 2 people in the show that are decent human beings.
Is this your handcuffs, by the way?
4 handcuffs.
4 handcuffs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't you worry, audience. I know a lot of you people have come on board to hear us cover this show.
Skylar's cool, even though she killed her past 2 boyfriends violently.
Bar's low.
Eris is cool, but she is a bad picker. And
I like Travis.
Travis is cool, even though he robbed banks. But everyone else is just, what is the point of you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, people can
I'm in a dark place.
You're in a dark place. People can always redeem themselves. But don't you worry, audience.
It's still funny.
Rest assured, Dylan will be recapping Life After Lockup.
For at least 3 episodes.
Okay. People love that show, Dylan. Okay. They love the roller coaster. Okay. It's not like the Housewives where it's just parties and wine debut parties and fashion stores. This is a roller coaster.
I started therapy yesterday, so maybe that will help me with the journey throughout, but I really want to spend my time in therapy talking about more important things and not the pieces of shit that litter this show.
Fair enough.
Women's entertainment. Go
Now,
ahead.
Dylan, I think you're frustrated because you don't understand why these people make the decisions that they make. And I will say this, you are correct. I think a pretty good metaphor for most of the people that participate in this show, imagine a train coming at you and you're standing on the tracks.
Yeah.
Most of us would say, I'm going to step off the track.
These people go, I'm going to go headbutt that thing.
No, they whip out super glue and they glue themselves to the tracks.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, and we watch it.
Yeah.
All right. So it's sad, but it's wildly entertaining.
Yeah.
So I thought this was an amazing episode. It was just bouncing around between stories. It just moved real quick like a great movie, you know?
Well, also not like that.
Well, it's my handcuffs. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to Life After Lockup. By the way, Dylan, they gave a little trailer for, what Life After Lockup's going to be. I'm going to have to coach you up on some of these past cast members.
Okay.
And kind of their little backstory.
That's our shtick, though. I don't know them, and that can be frustrating for the audience, but also calm down. So some public service announcements, jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. The Bad TV ratings and reviews have been unbelievable. I mean, serious.
Yes, thank you.
Can you applaud them, please? Serious, kudos to all of you for helping us out so much there. We love you guys very much for doing it. Join us on Patreon for ad-free episodes. And just to read a couple reviews, this is just the most fun stuff. We've got somebody saying, someone named Shavazan Mom, a Chaos Mom, says, funny, 5 stars, great. That's a perfect review.
Yeah, I like that.
We have another one from Jay Khalees. It says, honest and hilarious, 5 stars, love listening to you guys. Awesome podcast. So happy I found y'all. We're so happy you found us too. And tell your friends, tell your family. Let's help grow this thing to the moon. Keep leaving the reviews. We'll keep reading them. Let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
So we begin with Michael and Justine. He looks like a vampire hunter in jeans.
That's so funny you say that, because I was saying that as far as the look, Justine was transforming into Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say he looks like Blade. All he needs is her makeup and leather bottoms.
Right.
And then a vast array of silver-tipped and poisoned weaponry to go out and slay vampires. His sense of style is disgusting, and he's disgusting. He has horse teeth. He's irresponsible. I don't know how he has the money. I think he's a bad human being.
He's absolutely a bad human being. He's sold fentanyl when we all knew that it killed people. He didn't care.
Yeah.
By the way, in those interviews, when they're doing those interviews with him, he seems very high.
Yeah.
He really does.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm constantly high, too. So.
Fair enough.
No fault to him.
Okay, so get this. This whole scene is about how they're upset at each other over how this situation was, breaking down, the new Offspring showing up to Sherry.
Yeah, right, because last week we ended with just a cliffhanger that consumed me for days. Who was going to park the car? Were they going to be okay?
And they start the episode, actually, they go back, 3 minutes back to them still driving home, when they have that fight. I think he tells her to fuck off, too, in the car.
Yeah, the crazy thing about, and it's so admirable, we can't speak to our wives the way that these people speak to their partners. Justine and Derek, I mean, there's a scene where they're just calling each other fucking pieces of shit, fucking bitch, fuck you, and it's like, they're okay. They make it out of there. Now, it's a gross way to talk to one another, but every once in a while, I do wish we could exchange jabs like that, because I'm cool with it. But it is a gross way to speak to someone
Sometimes
you love.
you say things you can't take back. Dylan,
No, but they're not into earnest expressions of the soul. They're just kind of going through life until they die. 8 kids, 12 kids, 24 kids, prison stint here, BMW you can't afford, tiny house, kids hear everything. Who cares? Let's just get to death. These people are crazy.
Dylan, you're getting too upset over this. You just try and find the entertainment, okay? All right, I find it interesting how these two morons internalize the issue with the grandmother, Sherry. They think it's an issue because he showed up 20 minutes late for dinner.
The punctuality is the issue at hand here.
Yeah, that's why
they're having their 75th child.
Sherry wasn't pissed because Michael showed up 20 minutes late. She's pissed because you bozos are not going to ever let her retire.
Yeah.
She's going to be fucking paying your rent until they put her in a box.
Well, Justine is upset with him because he showed up late. And he says quite literally, I'm not capable of being anywhere on time.
Right.
He just says, I can't do it. And I have a kinship with him in that, but I would never go, I can't do it. Because that's a fucking crazy, stupid thing to say.
Well, this is also a man that proclaimed that when asked, what are you going to do with this new kid? You already have 6 kids. He says it's in God's hands.
It's in God's hands. Mm-hmm. Shave down those teeth. So let's get to Cam and Eris. They're struggling quite a bit. Cam is still fucked up because he's so little and he drank so much. It's 1:00 in the afternoon and Eris is heading out to catch a flight, leaving him for the next 60 days. He cannot really be bothered because he is an alcoholic and he's dumb.
But he has an excuse, Dylan.
Yeah.
He says it's China time. Okay, so
what's that?
Well, remember he was saying in China right now.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You get to sleep in a little bit.
Oh, see, again, stupid and dumb. Stupid and drunk.
Yeah, because I don't know if he's a world traveler, this character.
Right.
But China is actually 15 hours ahead of us. Therefore, doing his logic, 15 hours ahead would have already put Eris in Florida. So she wouldn't even be here. That's some Matrix, some Back to the Future shit.
Yeah, that's some Memento kind of time travel stuff. You know, what is up with all this Quantumania shit? It's like...
We talked about this on APS.
Did we?
The stories are so bored of just having a bad guy that wants to take over the world.
Yeah.
He needs to now take over multiple worlds and multiple universes.
Yeah.
You know, bigger stakes.
Right. Where do we go from here?
Stop going to see those dumb movies. That's where we go.
Stop going to see those dumb movies.
Better writing.
Yeah. Marvel's 3rd slate. Is it their 3rd? It feels like
I think they're in their 4th now.
The 50th slate. How many of these fucking movies have come out? No, I didn't see WandaVision. I didn't watch it.
Oh, I heard it was great.
Okay.
It looks weird.
All right. Back to this show, which is totalitarian art, unlike Marvel movies. So he says that when he is drunk, people turn into adults from the Peanuts. Right. Which is such a... Thank you so much for that illumination. I had no idea that drunks didn't comprehend information that well. He calls Eris and he orders a cheeseburger.
Tells her to order him a cheeseburger.
Will you go back to... Leave people alone with yourself. Go on a retreat. Don't go back to prison. Go to the Himalayas. Now, the sadhus will not take you because you're disgusting and you're underdeveloped cognitively. But go find something to make yourself better. Now, he heads down, and the most insane conversation ensues. And this is the thing with drunks. They don't excel at accountability.
No.
Which is shocking because they don't know what happened. So it's crazy that you can have not a recollection at all of the accounts that unfolded, but still be very defensive about your place in them.
Well, he's actually kind of on the offense here, Dylan, because if you ever heard a good defense is a good offense,
yeah.
Not only was he blackout drunk and doesn't remember a goddamn thing like throwing that fucking ring at her head.
Yeah.
But it's actually her fault.
Yep.
Had she come to his sister's party, he wouldn't have gotten said drunk.
Yeah.
And then thus what unfolded.
And the dumb gaslighting continues when he says, as a kind of riposte to her concerns about him repeating a cycle, which is objectively true. Mm-hmm. Because remember earlier on in the season, we pulled him out of the halfway house after he blew a 1.5 or something. He said, that gun was broken. I had one beer. He says, I'm not repeating any cycles because I didn't put my hands on anybody. And I'm not in prison. Airtight logic.
Logic, solid, check.
Airtight logic.
I will say this.
I'm going to start talking about calling people. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there.
Yeah. We don't want to look, Dylan. This is an entertainment show.
Yeah,
man. We don't want these people to, die or nothing.
Right.
ladies, if you would like to have a Romeo like this uncaring jerk, there's a website. I did a little research.
Yeah.
Inmate.com. I
Sure.
think that's where most ladies hook up with these guys.
You'll find the love of your life. Now, last thing with the sloppy gaslighting, he says, you were happy 2 days ago, and because I got drunk one time, you're all pissed off. Is that what I have to look forward to? In that moment, leave this man and never see him ever again, one time ever again in your entire life, right? I mean, come on, Eris. Love yourself more, have more self-worth. Notice that this tiny, drunk Dragon Ball Z fan is going to fail as a rapper, and because of that, will drink himself into oblivion.
Well, here's where this is my trigger, Dylan. I don't care if Eris is an adult. You know, if you want to ruin your life, go date a prison guy that's a drunk.
But you got a kid.
That's where I got the problem. That's where this entertainment thing, watching it, I'm like, God, I hope she does not have him back in Florida.
Yeah.
Because I'm not watching that show.
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus fucking Christ. Hey, you want to talk about Ashley and Travis?
Our favorite couple, Ashley and Travis. Now, their arc on this show is truly entertaining. It's truly, it is a Greek tragedy. Now, Greek tragedies usually someone has to be at a certain height and to fall very far.
Yes.
They were nowhere near any pinnacle of any kind.
They were the janitor at the at the theater.
Yeah. It's like a janitor overdoses on heroin. What a tragedy. Well, yeah, but kind of Heath Ledger's more of a tragedy. Anyways. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that's actually wrong. Life is a life is a life. But Heath Ledger was very talented. I mean, immensely talented. Have you seen A Knight's Tale? My God.
Hey, I had a funny thought, Dylan.
Yeah, what's
that?
With
Ashley, I was thinking like a thought of, because they were driving over to the mom's house, and they're so lacking in actual tangible assets that a pool floaty made it into the car to drive over to mom's house.
I love that.
But I thought of her like in that car. She also had her a folder that was her wealth portfolio.
Yeah,
and it turns out that the paper had more value than the contents written on the paper.
It's so funny because we do live in the land of zombies, be they bellhops or concrete punchers, and what they own is like, if you were to say like, we got to get moving, they're like, well, this is everything I have, and it's like, well, you can't bring a twin box spring with blood stains on it. Like that's not. You can leave that behind. You can leave the inflatable wedding ring in the pool. At the Marriott. So they're moving into their new home, which is owned by Travis' mom, who wants to fuck him. And that's going to be a tenuous thing. And I'm actually kidding about that. Kind of not, though. She is very sweet, Ginny. She has a heart. And she cares about her son, which may be why Travis is one of the only decent ex-convicts on the show. She has a chat with Travis. She says, I was up all night. I'm so sorry about the way that I spoke to you. She shouldn't be apologizing for anything because Ashley has a little chat with her, and she asks, where do you get off telling Travis that he should wait on marrying someone who waited until he was out of prison to tell him that she's homeless? Why would you tell him to wait to get married to that person?
What's his mom's name? Is it Nancy?
Jenny.
Jenny?
Jenny. Yeah, like Weasley.
Oh, okay. She should have said.
I think that was her name, right? You know Harry Potter?
Kinda.
That's Kaylin.
Look at that. Just a rousing contribution to this show. Unbelievable.
Ginny should have said, well, for starters, he's been in jail for 13 years, and now he's dating a drunk liar.
Hey, yeah.
He may need a little guidance.
Right. Yeah, I think he does need a little guidance. And with that guidance, he will be back on his feet. So let's get to Monique and Derek. She is in another bodycon dress, and it makes me sad. This is where I'm feeling bad about myself because I'm having psychosomatic responses to seeing her on television, and it's making me my arms are flying into the air like someone's hitting my knee or something when I see her. It's really, I hate myself.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, but you got a job to do. You got to make the listeners happy as we talk about this.
Yeah.
We don't want to just kill all the cast members. This is just
I'm not saying to kill Monique. I'm saying that her person makes
quick stab here. This was just a little shot. They call those sisters of his, and apparently they might not be able to make it because of quote unquote grass allergies.
Do you think what I said should be bleeped?
No, not at all. I just want you to be happy when you watch the show.
Do you think that what I said should be bleeped?
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, it's on you two now.
Okay.
It's not on me.
I would say just be a little bit more upbeat. Mm-hmm.
Let's get to Skylar and Nathan. 2 ex-fentanyl addicts. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? They're going to be doing a low-key Halloween, which includes no drinking and no drugs because so many people in Zanesville have died from fentanyl. Now, Nathan's brother is coming. Barry, believe it or not, he's a former drug addict and drug dealer himself.
Hey, I thought they said when they were going to go to that pumpkin patch trail that they weren't going to invite any friends that trafficked fentanyl.
Yeah, well,
it's hard to find.
Can't swing a cat in Zanesville. I mean, come on.
Wow.
So, costumes are concocted. Nathan is going to be Frankenstein, a man reborn. What are you talking about? Skylar is going to be his bride, which makes sense because tonight he's thinking about proposing to her. Forget the concerns of her mother, who had recently taken her daughter to a different kind of cemetery to remind her that she does not want her to overdose and does not want to bury her. And also forget that they've got a tenuous relationship with sobriety and each other, and they live in a haunted house. But let's get married.
Right.
Yeah. So we will, the dumbest people on planet Earth are on this show. We'll get back to that in a second, but first we have to get to Justine and Michael, speaking of the dumbest people on planet Earth. Now, this was the scene that made me the most angry because what Justine does to her daughter in this scene really pissed me off, actually. They head to an ice cream parlor. They are no longer in the Beamer because of the innumerable offspring. And if you're offended by that, leave me alone. Just leave me alone, because children are things that you care for and love, not things you just have on a whim. Mm-hmm. Ideally, right? Sorry. Michael teaches Justine about the power of the old game, the oldest game, chess, as a metaphor of feminine and masculine and birthing a modern day army of pawns of your own, I guess, in this beautiful moment here. It's amazing how applicable this game is to their relationship. He describes
to Justine the power of the queen, the most powerful piece in the game. And I was thinking of the metaphor and the analogy he was attempting there. A queen is, in fact, a piece to a game that most people consider a hobby.
Right.
Justine shits out kids as a hobby.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't come out. They don't come out of her asshole, but I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. And funny enough, numerology, what a beautiful and true thing. 8 pawns on a chessboard, 8 kids. So, also, I don't think we should gloss over the fact that Michael is in a gi. Why? Why are you in a gi? Were you in the kids in a Hapkido class? I don't understand. This guy's style is just bizarre. They sit down and they deliver the news to the children, but before we get there, we have to get back to Zanesville with Nathan and Skylar for a little interstitial about anal rape. Pat, take it away.
Well, this is prison knowledge, and again, I think this is one of the best bits or segments they have going on this show. This is where we cut to one of said ex-cons coming out to explain a little, what do you call those, quick problem-solving things, or what do you call them? Life hacks.
Yeah, hacks.
Prison knowledge. Well, Nate says, look, if someone leaves a piece of candy on your pillow in your cell,
Yeah.
you better not accept it because there will be some butter involved later on, and it won't be a finger in your asshole.
What?
A Butterfinger. Someone leaves a Butterfinger. You know. So the guy's gonna fuck you if you eat it,
And he'll lube the butthole with butter. Is that what you're saying?
Prison hack, man.
Well, it's such a sloppy way to measure whether or not you need to fuck somebody in the ass, because you put a piece of candy down on somebody's pillow, God knows what can happen to it. You're not watching. Maybe a fucking CO comes in and takes it, and you're fucking the guy in the ass who sleeps in that bunk. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way of knowing categorically who you need to rape. Dude, what do we do with this show?
I don't know. I think it's a big success for us. That's why I just want to keep it going.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to keep it going. It's just like The Bachelor. I did that show for 3 years. I hate that show.
All right, let's grill up some burgers. Now, the trick to a good burger, in case you didn't know, is to slap it on a communal rust pile, but put a little tin foil over the top of it so you don't get any asbestos on the meat, and then squirt kerosene on the coals that are directly underneath the meat. Before you know it, you've got an American culinary tradition on your hands, and it's time to smother it in mustard and eat up. So, Big Ma, the queen herself, the real queen of this show, and other members of the family arrive, but not those sisters.
No. They're running late. I guess that's why he can't count on them, and that's what led him to Mo. He can always find her and count on Mo.
Yeah, my hope for Derek, and I have no hopes for Derek because he, like many people on the show, is a philandering piece of shit. But my hope for Derek would be to find some kind of relationship in the middle between people who do not care about you in any way, shape, or form, and someone who cares about you so much that it's a Kathy Bates kind of horror film.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, these sisters, I think one of the mean ones, Elizabeth, that's the one that tried to get run over intentionally.
Yeah.
So the family leaves. It seems like a short day.
Yeah.
And just as they're getting in their car,
Yeah.
that white car starts driving around.
Right.
The car is terrifying because I know who's in it.
Terrifying.
It's Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And I think 3 kids in the back seat watching all this go down.
Right.
So that's what Elizabeth comes out and pretends like she's got run over.
And Elizabeth does not weigh as much as a great white, but probably as much as a bull. Shark. I'm not saying a bull.
Exactly.
Elizabeth is so just
horrible. Ugh. Horrible person. Horrible. You're doing this in front of kids.
You're doing it in front of kids.
How about the people at the park?
People in front of Euclid Creek Reservation. You look as though you have some kind of diaper on, or you've shoved boxes worth of tissues in your pants. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just happy to be sitting here with you, doing what we do.
That's right.
Not punching cars in front of children. And yeah.
Hey, let's get a little positivity in here.
Yeah,
Let's,
Ashley and Travis are pregnant. Yeah. Let's get a little positivity going.
All right. So this was a totally cooked bit. I saw it. Thank God. I never thought for a second that she was concerned about it.
Well, however cooked it was, we can still have fun with it, because the notion of someone being 3 at least weeks pregnant and slamming cherry bombs the night before is, I wouldn't say that it's funny, but it is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, Travis is concerned about this, because of their situation, but Ashley says, look, there's never a best time to have a child.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah. There are these sayings of you'll never be ready, you'll never be prepared for the kind of love and stuff like that. And it is debatable.
But not when you're living in a car.
Yeah. It's
That's not the best time.
right. We may not have an answer to when the best time is because it's too amorphous. It's kind of like when you leave a piece of candy on somebody's bed as a means to rape them. There's too many variables in there to qualify it categorically as the best. But what we can say is that it's definitely not when you're homeless. I mean, what are we supposed to do with this, man? This show's so sad. What's not debatable is that binge drinking special discount cherry bombs while you're 1 month pregnant is not a good idea.
Is it still happy hour? So sad.
All right. So
back to the people I hate, Justine and Michael.
Justine and Michael. Now this is the moment where I'm blood red mad.
Okay. So Justine does a bang up job of expressing to the kids and sharing with them how there's a new member of the family coming, but this time she's going to do it right. Not like how she raised the three of you. This time she's going to be present, not drinking till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Do all the fun stuff that a mom's supposed to do for her children. And this is when her oldest, I think her name's Kylie, this is when she begins to weep.
Yeah, and deservedly so, because her mother is saying in front of her to a camera crew and the rest of her family that she failed as a mother. And it's not done in a purposeful way. It's not an admission. It's a throwaway thing.
Because she's a moron.
Because she's incomprehensibly stupid. And this is what pisses me off about dumb people like this. The harm that this does to her daughter is immeasurable. It's so disgusting to me to see this woman admit without recognizing it that she is going to swing a little bit harder at this at bat. It's just... Ugh.
I'm actually shocked that we are moving these two into Life After Lockup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about their storyline.
So we have a funny moment from her child who says if it's a boy, we should call it Chad. If it's a girl, we should call it Chad. I love the innocence of children before their traumatic upbringing catches up to their psyche. It's really beautiful. Now she pulls her daughter away and reassures her that she loves her, despite all of the outward signs of that would run.
You were
counter
a practice
to
run
to that, right? And Michael tells Sherry and Justine's sons that, it's crazy. My kids told me not to have any more kids. It's like, how are you saying these things and not recognizing?
Are you hearing what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. It's stunning stuff. But back to Cam and Eris, who I don't know what, I think they reconcile here. She slams the ring back on his finger and they agree to attempt to fix things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's really, really sad. I don't, it's a very, very sensitive subject. And one that causes a tremendous amount of pain in various different communities, but I cannot wrap my head around whatever complex is going on in Eris, because she seems like such a good human being and she's trying and she loves her daughter, but for some reason she's almost like unaware of how pessimistic she is about what her worth in a relationship looks like.
If she has no self-esteem.
Yeah.
This is what I'll say. So I heard Dr. Drew one time talk about the show Teen Mom. As soon as that started airing,
what is Dr. Drew a doctor of?
He's a general practitioner, I believe. People come in and say, my tummy hurts, and then he recommends you go to a stomach doctor or something. Okay. He doesn't actually operate or any of that
Got it. He's an expert on a lot of things.
He had addiction medicine.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But he had said about Teen Mom that after the third season, pregnant season, teens started
sexuality too. He knew a lot about sexuality.
Oh, he did? What was that? How was that about?
Oh, yeah, that Love Line show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Jack of all trades. Yeah.
You know what they say. Master of none.
Well, we don't want to say that.
Oh, right.
Right.
Well, so feel like they were actually doing a service.
I'm
over
good
there
with Dr. Drew. I think Dr. Drew is a good.
He's been in my home. I love the guy.
He's a good guy. He does good things.
Yeah,
and he entertains people. And he's a handsome fucking devil.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is maybe this show is actually doing a service for women thinking of finding the next love of their lives through the prison system, inmate.com, that website.
Right.
It teaches you, like, look at this. You don't want to be like Eris, do you? You don't want to be like Monique, do you?
Right.
So maybe the show's doing a service quietly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully people can pick up on the lessons that this show is trying to teach. So let's get to the Halloween Carnival in Zanesville, wherein the mortality rate for accidents at these kinds of events is dramatically higher than other parts of the country. Nathan wants to propose to Skylar on this evening, and we kind of bounce around with different conversations. So he speaks to Skylar's friend Katie, who was a drug dealer and a drug user. We bounce back to Barry, who was a drug dealer, drug user, and it's kind of like in Clearwater, everybody golfs, but in Zanesville, everybody does fentanyl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny. Skylar, one of those conversations was her talking to Barry. She's like, I don't know if I want you around Nate, and he stops her in her tracks. He says, I don't know what you're talking about here. You're a drug addict too.
Yeah, and that was a piece of shit thing to say, but also
but true.
He did, like, he's a complicated human being because he says he really is sweet to her after that, and he's not unreasonable in that criticism of her. He's scared for his brother. He's wearing that uniform. But he says, you seem like a really sweet person. I just want you guys to be careful with each other. Next stop, the pads, sorry, that was gross. Make an honest woman out of her is one of these aphorisms that makes no sense to me. It's like they got on like a house on fire. What does that mean? You're going to make an honest woman out of Skylar by proposing to her? I don't get that. It's
right up there with everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, it was an earthquake in Turkey, killed 42,000 people.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. So this is actually a beautiful moment from Nathan, who really does not actually. You have to be a suspect of these revelations that he stumbles upon, because he's good at these hallmarkisms wherein he says, I've been a bad man and I want to be a good man and things like that. And then 24 hours later, he's polishing off a fifth of Kraken with Skylar and slamming her phone in a car door. But he does say something beautiful about what it means to be with somebody, wherein he says that life is about ups and downs, but it's also, people don't mention that there's a lot of stuff in the middle. And when you find the person that you love, it's that space that you are most commonly going to occupy with them.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Now let's hope they don't buy a bag tonight. I don't know how it comes, but let's hope that they don't do that. All right, so back to the Euclid Rec Center. The sisters arrive. They are disgusting people. The one in white who got hit by the car, once again, I don't know why her butt looks like that. And I don't think it is her butt. I think there's things in the dress, but I think that she's transgender. I think there's some things going on. I don't want to be rude, but she's also a demon and like a mud witch. Do you want to break down the fight between Derek and Monique? Because
I thought we were still with He's like, come on, man, drive off. Start the car.
Yeah.
She's circling the car.
Right.
Drive off. Come on, man. I like how he calls Mo man.
Right.
So, Derek, I don't know what you want me to do right now. Drive off. She's on the right side. She's going to eat us. Get the fuck out of here. Run her over.
Well, run her over. She does not, but Elizabeth will pretend as though she did, and Women's Entertainment will use that clip 50 times.
Yeah, 100%. I want to say this. Okay, so then Mo and Derek get to a safe location in a parking lot somewhere, and this, everything that Elizabeth attempted to do actually works because she wanted to create problems between him and his love of his life, Mo.
Right?
And it reminded me, like, this is what happens. You put a lot of stress on a couple, they'll start fighting each other.
Yeah.
This is my wife. We both hate this guy building our pool.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many fights it's caused us.
Right.
We both hate this guy, but we're so stressed out about him taking our money that we fight about it.
Right.
And that's what's happening here.
Yep.
And then sadly, I think he just gets out of the fucking car and hops in another producer's car or something. She has another producer hop in her car, and then she heads back to the hotel.
I was kind of on my feet in this moment because I do want Monique to leave him. I don't think that she does deserve better than him, but I hope she gets it because everybody is, unless you're really horrible, everybody should find happiness in their lives.
Hopefully her being on the show might have some suitors hitting up in the DMs,
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that happens to her.
It gets a little violent in the car, like he's smacking her and stuff. And Derek loses that fight without a weapon 7 out of 10 times. He does have better cardio. And when I say better cardio, I mean much better cardio. I mean, sure. I think she'll gas out very quickly. But, there are weight classes for a reason. So Ashley and Travis are up next. They're eagerly awaiting the results of the test. She shouts from the door, "Were you ever this nervous in prison when you were taking pee tests? Shut the fuck up and tell me if you are pregnant." Travis says, "I'm not going to." Travis says, "Am I going to have to rob banks to take care of these kids?"
That concerned.
No. You shouldn't have to rob banks. I would hazard a guess and say you should never rob banks
because you're horrible at it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
2-time loser.
Right. Yeah. He's super bad at it. Now that they aren't pregnant, though, phew, big relief. Ashley says the only thing that she could ever say, let's go get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upon hearing that news, let's go head to a bar.
Cherry bombs are on special discount.
Now, we get the epilogue, I guess, as we wrap this up in a few minutes. But I saw the writing on the wall with his final interview.
Yeah.
Because they cut to him and he said, our love is strained mainly over, he doesn't know how to articulate it, but basically that she lied to me.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be living in her house and going to jewelry school.
Right.
And now I'm in my mother's fucking mother-in-law suite at her house with this drunk.
Yeah.
Our relationship's strained. So it's a coin toss at this point.
Yeah. Well, what isn't a coin toss, oddly enough, is Justine and Michael. We get back to the house with them, and we've got to FaceTime the evil mother. Justine answers the phone eating. Why are you eating? You're telling the mom that you're pregnant again, and she's just like munching down on some kind of Hostess cake. And she's like, "What's up, Maria?" It's like, do you guys take anything seriously ever?
No.
Outside of that pile of trash on top of your refrigerator.
I have to say, these two people, I think Justine, I've mentioned this on a couple podcasts, is the orchestrator of all this. And I think her dream was to be on TV and anything just to keep the cameras there and nothing else matters, including having another kid.
Yeah.
With another moron.
Yeah.
Cameras are here.
Right.
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
We told me we're signed to do at least 2 more seasons of this bullshit.
Do you see why I'm filled with contempt?
I understand.
Now, I could do a little bit better with it, obviously.
Right.
I am filled with contempt for these people. So, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, so they get back to that house, and you want to hear how moron number 1 sums up the day.
Yeah.
Justine describes it as, it went good.
Yeah.
Now, let me just describe
Not really.
It went great. Your 12-year-old was in tears after you proclaimed your new lease on parenting after being pretty bad for the first 3 kids.
Right. Yeah. 17-year-old, but
it went good.
Counting. So after Justine slams down the confection or confectioner, I don't know. I didn't need to use a big word there. It's just a sweet that she's eating, I think. And she says, They deliver the news to the mother that they are having the baby.
His mother.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, no one's happy about this because everyone in their lives knows that they are dumb and incapable of doing this well. So the mom asks if they can switch to Spanish, and that is when Longtooth says, don't speak Spanish in front of my wife. That's rude. Anything you can say to me, you can say to her. Which I was like, I bet he's right, but also, what is coming down the pike? And what is coming down the pike is an accusation of Justine being a 2-bit whore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, this gets Michael really upset. He's like, he thinks his mother, who does my mother think she is? Maury Bafovovich?
Yeah.
He's a true moron.
Yeah, he does.
And he says, you know what? I hope we have fucking triplets. Oh, we do too, don't we?
Right. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. So he Dostoevsky's out Maury Povich's name and then says that he wants to have even more children that he's already having. And my favorite moment from this is him saying, well, two favorite moments, that his mom has been running around like some kind of druidic little sprite, just swabbing children like they have COVID to figure out if they are his children because she's praying to the gods that they are not. But also Justine says it was kind of shitty being called a 2-bit whore, but that's just part of being in the family.
Right.
So we move on to the end cards. I guess the lengthiest one is Monique finally leaving Derek.
Yeah.
It's Queen. Unfortunately, Queen, you'll go back to him within weeks.
Well, don't forget that call with Pina Colada. She calls her. And,
right.
And then they're having like girls' night, and then we learn that she's looking at his tracking for his phone.
Yeah.
And he's lying about where he is.
Right.
And then she calls him, and then I think she threatens to beat him up.
And again, 7 out of 10 times.
Right.
And
then she hangs up the phone, or he hangs up on her, and she says, he'll be back.
Yeah. And she'll be back is the real, crux of things, because he's with that CEO who drove down the road like my Max Ferry Road. So he's just hanging out with her, and he likes her because she's scary. And she hits him. And, but it doesn't matter though, because Monique is going to go back to him after knowing categorically that he's been fucking other bitches. Now we end with this and a few other end cards. Ashley and Travis didn't work out, like you said. She pulled the rug out from under him. There was no future in Florida. They were homeless. There was a future in Manassas, and that future was a homeless one. Cam and Eris are struggling to make things work, I guess, still. Are we going to see them on Life After Lockup?
I don't think so. Thankfully.
Justine and Michael will be on Life After Lockup. So
he's working on his next mega hit.
And we, Women's Entertainment, puts that in quotation marks. Very, very disrespectful to a man who is trying to use this platform to increase the transparency or the reach of his bars. And he does have bars. And then who is the final couple that we have?
Well, Skylar cleanses the House of Demons. Obviously, they're big fans of our podcast.
That's right.
We've been warning of those demons.
We have
blood
been
on the walls.
Warning them, because walls should not spell out premonitions and warnings in blood. That's it for us. We love you guys so much for supporting us throughout this entire season. I kind of wish it was longer, but I also don't. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Keep it going with those ratings. We love to see those very much. Also, join us on Spotify. 5 stars, walk away, bad TV everywhere on social, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Join us in the Facebook group. We love hearing from you guys there. Me and Pat will be back next week with episode 72 or whatever of Life After Lockup. Until then, have a great rest of your week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Later, dudes!
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.